Hello everyone, welcome back once again in my YouTube channel. So guys, in previous video I've explained about what is join method. End to end I've explained with code base as well. I hope you have seen my previous video where I've explained what is join method. So guys, in this video I'm going to explain one next concept which is also most important in multi-threading. That concept is guys, interrupted and is interrupted method in multi-threading. Guys, see, till from point number 1 to point number 11 I have explained end to end, and all the video I upload on the YouTube. The guys who didn't watch as of now all the video, so I would suggest will go and check all the previous video, then you come in our this video guys, then your understanding will be more easy guys. So guys, in this video I'm going to start what is interrupt method, what is interrupted, and what is interrupted method with what theoretical as well as our code guide. My main motto is how you people understand with code base. Theoretical you may forget, but if you have code base in your mind, so you will never forget our concept guide. Correct? Yes. So guys, for the purpose I have created one hour what complete slide for you people, so you will come to know very easily guys. So our agenda for this video is describe what is interrupt, what is interrupted, what is interrupted method in our multi-threading. Then guys, also I will show you code snippet of all these three methods. Along with I will explain at last with code base guide how all these three method we are going to implement in our multi-threading. End to end I will explain with code base guide. So guys, without any further delay, we'll start our discussion one by one of each and every method what we have in multi-threading. Guys, see, first method that is most important. So what we should understand, most of the candidate may confused what is interrupt method, what is interrupted method, what is interrupted. So they may understand all these three methods are same. No guys, it's completely different. So that's why I bring this what video in front of you, so at least you'll come to know how it is different from each other. So guys, see, first method, what is interrupt method in multi-threading. So guys, the method which is used to interrupt an executing thread, it's called a interrupt method in multi-threading. Okay, simple, very simple understanding here. The method which is used to interrupt an executing thread is called a interrupt method in multi-threading. But also we need to understand in different way guy. What? So guy, that is interrupt method is only used when thread is sleeping or waiting state. Okay, this thing also most important. So interrupt method is only used when what thread is in sleeping or waiting state. Means when we use sleep and wait method, only we can use interrupt method. Otherwise we cannot. So guys, that is most important concept you need to aware. So interrupt method is used only when thread is in sleeping or waiting state. Otherwise you cannot use. Then guys, next point also you should keep aware guys. So what guys, if thread is not sleeping or waiting state, then calling the interrupt method will perform normal behavior. Correct guy? That thing also you should understand. So if you are going to use interrupt method, if suppose thread is not sleeping or waiting state, then guys, that time it perform normal behavior. Correct? Yes. Guys, these 3 points very important. So what you should keep in mind always. Correct? Yes. Then guys, when we use interrupt method, then guys, one famous and well-known exception arise. That exception is called guys interrupted exception, because you're going to interrupt an executing thread. That's why you will get interrupted exception. You may handle with the help of try catch or those keyword. Correct guy? Yes. Then guy, next point, what is the method signature of interrupt method? Guys, see, public void interrupt, that is the method signature you need to understand. Okay, if you're going to use this interrupt method in your implementation. Okay, that is all about our interrupt method. If you understand the all points, definitely I hope you should not have any confusion in future, guy. Then guy, next, what is interrupted method, guy? Last method was interrupt method, but guy, this method is interrupted. What is interrupted method in multi-threading? Guy, this method also very simple, very normal method, guy. So guy, the method which is used to check whether a thread is interrupted or not, means this method is used to check the thread is interrupted or not. That is called guy what? Interrupted method in multi-threading. Correct guy? I have understood. And guy, there are some specific what features guy of interrupted method. So what is feature guy? The interrupted method clears the interrupted status from true to false if thread is interrupted. Suppose if thread is interrupted, then guy, the interrupted method status will change from true to false. This thing guy, I will explain while writing the code. Once I will write the code, then same moment I will explain this thing guy. You may not understand this time as theoretically what is this, how it is changing true to false. Same thing I will explain while I am writing the code guy. Don't worry. Then get next point, the result of interrupted method. Guys, see, when we are going to call the interrupted method, we'll get some result, will response, right? So guys, that response will change if we call twice. If we constantly call two times guy, the interrupted method, the result will change, means true to false guy. I mentioned in previous point guy. So the interrupted status will change true to false if thread is interrupted. So same thing I mentioned here, the result of interrupted method will change if we call twice. This thing also I will show while writing the code guy. Then get next point, what is the math signature of interrupted method, guys? So this interrupted method guy, math signature of guy, public static boolean interrupted guy. Definitely you can see in first point I mentioned the method which is used to check whether a thread is interrupted or not. If you're going to check the method is interrupted or not, definitely guy, this method will give as a boolean result guy. It may be true, it may be false. That's why guy, you can see as a method signature, this method return boolean result. Guy, I hope you have understood each and every point what I have explained here. Then guy, last but not least, this is also an important method, that is guy, is interrupted. What is interrupted method in our multi-threading? So guy, the method which is used to check whether a thread is interrupted or not is called guy is interrupted method guy. So guy, I hope you understood same. So is interrupted and guy and interrupted both are guy what? Same purpose. The method which is used to check whether a thread is interrupted or not. For checking purpose guy, we are going to call is interrupted method in multi-threading. Guys, see the next point, the is interrupted method doesn't clear the interrupted status from true to false. In guy previous method, interrupted method I have shown you. So this method clears the interrupted status from true to false. But guys, this time is interrupted method doesn't clear the interrupted status from true to false. That is main big difference from these two method, interrupted and is interrupted method. Guys, see the next point, the result of is interrupted method will same guy even we call twice. But same thing I have explained in the interrupted method, the result of interrupted method will change if we call twice. But guy, here the this is interrupted method, result of this is interrupted method will same guy even if we call twice. This thing also I will show in the what code guy once I will write the code. Then guy, our next concept, next feature, the method signature of is interrupted method. So guys, see this time also I have told you, so both the method is used to check whether a thread is interrupted or not. That's why this method also will give our boolean result, yes or no, means true or false. So guys, that's all about our what basic introduction about what interrupted, interrupted and is interrupted method guy. Then guys, next slide we'll proceed. So guys, that I have explained here how our code snippet. Same thing guys, I will explain in the code, but for future knowledge purpose I mention this thing. So guys, don't worry, I will explain same thing on our IDE guide. Then you'll come to know how it is. For understanding purpose, this thing I mentioned here. So guys, see, and next I've used here interrupted and is interrupted. Same thing for knowledge sake, for understanding purpose, how we are going to use these two methods in our implementation. So guys, that's it from this video. So now I'm going to explain same thing in our guy IDE. So how all these three methods we are going to implement in our multi-threading. Interrupt method, interrupted and is interrupted. So guys, one by one I will explain to you guys. Please be concentrated. So you see, already I've created one package guy, that is what common average multi-threading concept. Okay guys, see. So I will come here guy, first I will create one class. The class name guy interrupt method guy. What? Interrupt. Interrupt method test. Interrupt method test guy. I will create one main method, then guy I will create finish. Yes. So guy, you can see here. So I have created our interrupt method test. Correct? Yes. Come here guy, and guy, you know very well. So guy, so in this method guy, in this class I am going to create what? First I will get extend our class from our thread class guy. Then you can create thread guy. Yes or no? Yes. This is already explained in so many video guy, in previous video, right? So extends thread. Thread guy. Yes. So guy, now if we guy extend our class from thread class, that means we are able to create thread guy. Yes or no? Yes. Then guy, our next point guy, we need to override run method. Guys, see, I override run method. So guys, this thing you know very well. In previous video already explained so many times guy. Yes. Guys, see, then guy, in this run method I'm going to print some number. Suppose guy, I'm writing here. First guy, see, I will write guy try and catch block. Why? Because already I mentioned you. So if you are going to interrupt method, so when guy, so your what thread should be under sleep or wait. So if you're going to our thread under sleep guy, definitely it will throw interrupted exception. That's why we need to handle this thing. So that purpose I'm going to write this code inside our try catch block. Try and get corresponding, we should have what? Catch block as well guy. So yeah, this is syntax. If you're going to write catch block by try and catch, then you need to follow in same way guy. So you should not have any confusion. Correct? Yes. Guys, see, inside try block I'm printing some number guy. So for the purpose I'm taking for loop for int I equals to 1 and I less than equals to 5 and guy I plus plus. This thing you know very well, no need to explain guy. Correct? Yes. So guys, see, I am printing something inside that guy. Suppose I am printing the value of I. Yes, correct. Then guy, I want to keep this thread sleep in some moment guy. So thread dot sleep, and guy, suppose I want to sleep this thread as a 1 second. Correct? Yes. So guys, see, once we have written this code thread dot sleep in 1 second, suppose definitely you will have some what exception. So how are you going to handle guy? So I can write here exception, right? Exception in guy e of the object, right? Okay, then we can print guy. So how are you going to handle this exception, right? Yes. So guy, I can print here what? Thread interrupted. Thread interrupted, right? Yes, with our exception object. Yes, correct. So guys, this is a very simple code I mentioned here, right? So guys, see, This is our basic behavior to perform our child thread, right? Then guy, I will create the thread. So guy, our thread, our class name guy here, what? Interrupted method test. So guy, this and it equals to what? New interrupted method test. Could guys see? Yes. Then guy, I need to start our thread. So that purpose guy, it dot start. You know very well guy this thing. So after guy starting this thread, till guy you know very well, right? I didn't use anything about interrupt method guy. So guys see, can I run this application? We'll see what result is printing without using interrupt method guy. See here, guys see it's printing our what? For loop value of I after 1 second guy. Yes okay? Yes. So guys till this thing I didn't use anything about interrupt method. Guy please be concentrated. Now I'm going to what? Implement our concept as a first method, that is interrupt method. Guys see I'm going to call it dot interrupt. Guys see interrupt method guy. Yes or no guy? This method belongs to our thread class, correct? Yes. Guys see now if I'm going to call is in it dot interrupt method guy. So guys can you have any idea what result it will print guy? What should be the output? No worries guys, I will run the application, will show you how it's printing the result. Guys see, you can see guys clearly what's mentioned here. Once I run the application, the result is printing guy 1 and guy thread interrupted java.lang interrupted exception and guy sleep interrupted. Guys you see it's mentioned guys, yes or no? Thread interrupted, yes or no guys? So you can see here. So guys same message I've written here, thread interrupt guy. You can see thread interrupt method came guy. Guy you know one thing here. So once we call this it.interrupt, after starting this our guy run method. So first guy it what? Start from I equal to 1. Guys see. In second time guy, once it printing I value equal to 2, it got thread.sleep. And 1 second. All I have told you guys. So interrupt method is applied will work once our thread will in sleep and waiting state. Yes or no guys? Whenever if thread is in sleeping mode or waiting state, only we can use interrupt method guys. You can see just in second iteration it got thread is sleeping. So directly that what? It given the exception guy. That is what we are going to handle thread interrupted guy. You can see here thread interrupted and is gracefully what? Termination. That means what? Gracefully it's terminated when the thread got this thread is in sleeping mode guy. Good guy. So guy that is complete about our what? Interrupt method. Means whenever the thread is sleeping or waiting state, if you call interrupt method, that means it will directly terminate with normally, because we are going to handle the exception. Correct guy? You can see here thread interrupted. You can see. So guys, this is first method how we are going to implement in our multi-threading. If you would like to what? Interrupt a thread, that means the thread should under the sleeping and waiting state, then we can use this method. Okay, correct. Then guys, our next method is interrupted. What guy? Interrupted. And guy is interrupted. Correct? Yes. Guys, see, please be concentrated. I am going to explain this thing also. This place itself. Guys, see. So if guy I am going to use here, suppose sys out and guy this time I'm going to use thread dot guy interrupted. See guy interrupted, thread interrupted guy. So guy can you confirm what should be the result print here guy? If I'm going to use what? After interrupting the thread, I'm printing here system.out thread interrupted, and guy already I have shown you while I was discussing in the theoretical. So this interrupted method will give boolean result. What guy? It will give boolean result, true or false. Guys see, first I will run the application, we'll see the result guy. what result it's printing. Guys, see, obviously guys, when you can see line number 31, I have what called it dot interrupt. Definitely guys, our thread is interrupted. Yes or no guys? Yes. That's why you can see this method is printing true. This method guy is printing true guy. Yes or no? Yes. Correct guy. Guys, see, and one thing already explained you, right? So when interpreted method called twice, so guys, it will change the return. It will change the result true to false. Yes or no guys? It will change the result true to false. Guys, see, as of now guys, you can see the result is here true, right? But guys, it will change the result true to false. Guys, how I will show you guys, don't worry. So guys, it will change the our result from true to false. Guys, see how will come to know guys. Suppose I mention guys, suppose this is guys thread A. So this guy once I'm going to implement this guy will come to know this is guy A. Correct? Correct guy? Yes. Guys, same thing if I'm going to print this thing in our for loop guy this place. Okay, yes guys, see, suppose this is our B, this is our B. Guys, see, now I will run the application, we'll see. So this will print guy our false result. Guys, see, let me run the application guy, we'll see this. Guys, see, are you getting guy? Yes or no? Already told you guy. So first time guy, when you're going to check this method is interrupted or not guy, see, you can see obviously it interrupted. Correct guy? But guy, once we are going to enter this for loop, guy, printing value of I, guys, see, even we are going to thread.sleep, it is not guy what throwing thread interrupted guy. It is not throwing thread interrupted. Why guy? Because this thread is not interrupted guy. See, first time guy it is true, and guy it is convert true to false. If it is false guy, then why it's printing the result guy. See, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's printing result. And false means guy this thread is not interrupted. False means guy this thread is not interrupted. That's why guy you can see here all the result is printing as expected. So guys, that's why I have told you while explaining theoretical. So it will change the status. It will change the interrupted status from true to false. Guys, you can see here. Correct guy? Yes. Guy, that is our interrupted method guy. Now guy, I will show you what is interrupted. What is interrupted guy? Guys, see, sysout, and guys, see, if I'm writing here thread dot current thread dot what is interrupted guy. You can see is interrupted method here. Correct? Yes. Guys, see, so if I'm going to guy now comment this line, comment line number 12 guy. Okay, because already understood what is this interrupted method does. Correct guy? Yes. Guys, see, now if I'm going to comment this line guy. Correct? Yes. Guys, see, then you'll come to know what result it's printing guy. Okay guys, let me run the application first. Guys, see, you know very well after calling guy it.interrupt means guy this thread is interrupted means true. Yes guy, result printing true. Correct? But guy, you know after guy calling this is interrupted, it is not changing the status from true to false. Okay, in previous case you have seen that this thread interrupted method giving true, but once you're going inside your for loop, right, that time guy it will change the status. But guy, in this case you can see if you're going to call is interrupted method, so guys, see, this interrupted method is interrupted, but guy once you're going to enter into the for loop, so when we can see a thread.sleep, so directly it is terminated, thread interrupted. It's not printing the result guy. Means guy, it is not changing the interrupted status from true to false. If you're going to call is interrupted method, that means it is not change the what status guy true to false. That's why directly it's come into our catch block. You can see here thread interrupted. Okay, you can see here. Correct, guy? So guy, that is the main difference between is interrupted and interrupted. If you're going to call interrupted guy, so the status of the interrupted method will change true to false. That's why guy, we can able to see the result guy. Once more time guy, I will see comment this line and uncomment this line guy, and corresponding I will uncomment this line. Guys, see, once I will run this interpreted method guy, you can see the result how it's coming guy. You can see guy, first true guy, correct? This interpreted method really is true, but guys see, once going to guy inside this for loop, once going to go thread.sleep guy, 1 second. So after guy, you can see the thread is printing result, but guy it states as a false. Why? Because interpreted method change the status from true to false. Correct guy? But guy, same thing, once I'm going to comment this line guy and uncomment is interpreted method guy. Guys see, that time you can see what result printing guy. This time guy directly it will terminate. Guys see, a result coming guy true only. So our thread is interrupted, yes, true. But guy, we are not going to change the status from true to false. That's why guy, it is not printing all the thread value guy. Yes or no? See, I'm mentioning here system order println I, not guy. It's not printing result. Why? Because it is not changing the status from true to false. Means this thread is directly terminated with this exception message guy. Okay, that is our all about interrupted and is interrupted method in our multi-threading. I hope you have understood all these three method behavior. That's it guys from this video. If you like my video, please like, share, subscribe, so I will bring such type of informative video what in front of you, so we'll get what benefited. Guy, in next video I'm going to what bring that is most important concept guy, that is synchronization concept. What is synchronization concept in multi-threading? So in every perspective I will explain synchronization concept guy. Okay, so guy, don't miss coming video guy. Please what watch my coming video, so you will get more benefited about synchronization concept in multi-threading, how we are going to use synchronized concept in multi-threading in every aspect. So that's it guy. So as of now, so if you like my channel guy, please like, share, subscribe. If you have any question guy, please do me comment. I will address your comment as well. Thank you guy. Bye bye. Take care. We'll meet in next video. Thank you guy.